raise your hands, guys. All right, there's Tashawn. There we go. Go ahead, Tashawn.
Hey, Derek. I know it's been a trend throughout the entire season. You guys deal with injuries and being without guys. But this week was unlike any other. I know you're not going to use any excuses, but how tough is it as a unit to just, I guess, have to just keep plugging away when you're missing so many guys and having to deal with these circumstances?
Yeah, Tashawn, you know me. I'm not going to use any excuses. We can't. We're in a production-oriented business, and I want to say how proud I am of that offensive line. Not just the starters, but the backups also for the week they had. It's unlike anything we've ever seen before, where we pull all the starters and they end up getting cleared on the day of the game and get to play. And very proud of those guys for what they were able to accomplish, the jobs that they did on studying and all those good things. But football is a game that needs to be practiced. It's a game of team, and when you don't have all your guys out there, it's tough, throughout the week. But with that said, very proud of them for coming in against a multiple front, multiple blitz operation that they are, and being able to play the way that they play. They did a fantastic job. So obviously we didn't get the job done. We got beat today, and we tip our hats to Tampa Bay. They're a good defense. We saw what they did to some of these offenses, and especially what they did last week to one of the best offenses and one of the best players our game has ever seen. And they're a talented bunch, great coaches, great players. But again, I want to tip my hat to our offensive line more so for the job that they did. I mean, it's unlike anything we've seen before. I don't know how to compare it, but they did some good stuff.
Go ahead, Josh.
Derek, you guys were in this game in the fourth quarter. You kicked the field goal on 4th and 1. Did you lobby John at all, or are you hoping to be able to go for it in that situation? I'm
always, if it's Josh, if it's like 4th and 4, I'm the one screaming like, let's go for it. I'm that guy, and that's why we have coaches. It was a long one, and with how we came out in the second half, we scored the touchdown. We went right back down the field, and we're like, all right, well, hey, we'll get points, we'll get the stop, and we'll go back down the field. So in my head, I'm always lobbying. I'm always trying to go, on 4th and 8. I'm trying to go for it, and then the coaches are like, all right, chill, bro, and things like that. But I completely agree, and obviously, thought it was a good decision with how, and even in the first half, we were moving the ball. There was even a play where we had Waller open on an explosive play. Someone hit me on my hip, and the ball went sailing. Like, we had things that we wanted, so it wasn't a feeling of, man, we have to do it right now. I'm trying to articulate it right for you. It wasn't a matter of like, oh, we got to do it now. We felt that we could get the ball back and move and do it again.
This is Hondo Carpenter. I understand the league's about winning and winning now. There's no moral victories. But when you look at the adversity your offense faced this week, can you talk about the pride you had in the Raider offense today?
Yeah, I'm it's a production-oriented business. All we care about is winning. But at the same time, I'm a realist. And the job that we were able to do against the number one defense in the NFL with everyone missing practice until today, they get to play in the game, awesome. Very impressed. Again, that's me just being real. It's impressive what they were able to do. It really is. It makes it hard on them. It makes it very tough on them. Passing off the games and doing all those things live in practice, and the stunts and communication and the reps and the conditioning and all those kind of things all take into account of what this is a game of practice and practicing together. And so again, me being real, very impressed. Me being production oriented, we didn't win. So it's up in the air with both of those, but again, thoroughly impressed. They did something that no one's ever seen before in this league.
Hey, Derek, given how just strange the circumstances were this week and how physical the game was, you took a couple of big hits there. How much of a gut check is this kind of for this team going forward? Because you did have success, but then when you look at the scoreboard in this production-oriented business, it doesn't look that way, but some positive things did happen.
Oh yeah, Paul. Everyone saw. I mean, it's 20-24 with 7 minutes left. Like we're sitting there with, moving the ball. They're a good, obviously the number one defense in the league, and they we move the ball. They stop us some. We still move the ball. We're hitting explosives. We're this close, and mind you, we're this close on 3 or 4 more big explosive plays. You know what I'm saying? And so we felt confident, felt good. The end score is the end score. Coaches talk about it all the time. Don't worry about the scoreboard. You do your process. You play the game, winning or losing. And so you never look at the scoreboard. You just play. And situationally, the scoreboard, that's the only thing that matters is situations, and things like that. But thoroughly impressed with what we were able to accomplish. Again, was it enough? No, it wasn't. Just being real, it just wasn't enough. But with the film that we watched and, the things that we were able to put on tape today, very proud of our guys. The coach said in the locker room, we have nothing to hang our head about. Did we win the game? No, it's not good enough. But the things that we were able to put on film, the things where we're headed, and with what we had to go through, just being real this week, keep our head up, no pointing the fingers. We're on to the next game, and we should hit the field running at practice with the same juice we've had all season. And so we're 3-3. That's what we've earned in this league. But we got 10 games to go, and we got some good opponents that we're going to play, and I'm excited about it.
Derek, you've had a pretty good connection with Nelson. It seemed like today, particularly even early in the game. Was there something maybe game plan-wise you saw, or it just kind of developed like that in the game? And what has he been? What has he meant to you kind of so far this season?
Adam, it's a good question. I've said it a lot of times, but excuse me, Zay Jones, Nelson Aguilar, Darren Waller, all the tight ends. I'm just going to stop naming them because they were all there. But we spent so much time in the offseason working on all of these things that are coming to fruition and on the field. And so Nelson has been such a huge pickup for us, such a great player for us. And I'm sure there's a few plays he wants back, but I told him, I said, I'm going to keep throwing it, so you just keep doing what you're doing. He's been so huge for us. He's been really impressed with Nelson Aguilar. And I think that Raider fans should be too. The man has fought through a lot of adversity in his life, and he's on our team now, and he's making big plays for us. But the way we play football here is it's not about fantasy stats. We're not trying to get one guy the football. We take, we call plays. We do things with the intent of we're going to take the best matchup, whatever we think that is, and we're going to attack that. And some of the plays, the way they happen to play out, the ball went to Nelly. Now, does that mean we don't call plays just for him? No, there's ways to call plays and get him aligned and get him the ball. But we do that with Waller. We do that with Hunter and Josh, everybody. Some of the little wide routes, we get them to Josh so he can be in space. There's different things, that we can do. But that's a long-winded answer to tell you. I just play football. I just do my job. I try my best every time I turn the film on. Is that where Coach wanted the ball to go? Yep. Is that where Coach wanted the ball to go? Yep. That's what I do, and whoever ends up with a big day and things like that, that's for the fans to be excited about and all that kind of stuff.
Let's do 3 more, guys.
Derek, Jerry McDonald, this has been a pretty good gauntlet you guys have run since the beginning of the season when you look at the caliber of the teams that you played and how they're doing now, how they were in the playoffs last year. Now Cleveland's coming up in their win, and so I guess there's no breaks. But at 3-3, you look at your guys and who you got in your locker room and think, we can beat anybody in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry, I think a lot of us, a lot of guys, a lot of familiar faces. We've been around. We have a good football team. This offense is one of the best. It's probably the best offense I've been on since I've been in the NFL. This defense has talent all over it. Now they have a few big plays here and there that they want back and all those kind of things. But, man, I see it in practice, Jerry. I see it. I see what it could be. I see what we could be as an offense when we're clicking on all cylinders, when we got all our guys. I see what we have. And to be 3-3 at this point, no one thought that was going to be the case. They thought for sure we'd be 1-5. They thought for sure there was no way we'd be 3-3 right now, but we are. And that's what we've earned. And if I'm being honest, Jerry, we expected to be more than that. If I'm just being real, like in our locker room, we expected more. And so there's a hunger there, but at the same time there's an excitement to know that, we have a really, really good football team. And that's why we play 16 games. You play and you fight until the end, just like we always say. You play 4 quarters. Well, man, we're just in the second quarter of the season. We got a long way to go before this thing is over. Got a lot of big games ahead of us, and it starts right now this week.
Last two.
Derek, going back to the offensive line, were you even allowed to have any kind of virtual contact with them at all to be able to go through things or throughout the week in practice? And how did you guys handle that?
Yeah, I personally didn't. I'd text them, and me and Rodney would send videos to each other. Hey, let's make this call. Let's do this. Let's do that. But from a coaching standpoint, I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know what the rules are and how all that works. I mean, I think they're pretty much doing it on the fly anyway. I think we all see that. So I don't know what the rules are on that.
And Derek, to maybe piggyback on that, Colton made a statement that was sort of interesting. He said that there may have been 1 or 2 communication things or a few things, little details you miss out on. Did you find yourself at times during the game, after a certain play, taking a hit, you're in the huddle, and you had to correct them because you noticed that those communication things may have been missed out on? Did that take place all during the game?
Yeah, so the miscommunication, absolutely, it took place. And that's why, it's a game of practice, It really is. You have to practice it. You got to be available not just for Sundays. You got to be available all throughout the week because there's so much information that goes into it. This game is this close, with details. And you hear Coach Belichick, who's, I think, one of the best coaches ever, Coach Gruden, Super Bowl winning coach, one of the best coaches, I think. And all they do is they preach the details all the time. And so they must know a little something about this game if that's what they always talk about. And so if we do our job and we know our details, usually the outcome is good. When you don't do the job and when we miss on little details, usually the outcome isn't good. And I've been doing this 7 years. It's a reoccurring theme. So maybe I'm brainwashed, but I believe in that, And there were a few things there, but nothing where I'm jumping up and ripping them. These guys they weren't with us until this morning, Like I'm never going to sit there and be like, how do you guys not know that? Or never one time am I ever going to do that, man. With what they did, these guys should be applauded and patted on the back for what they were able to accomplish. Now, was it good enough? Like I said, no, it's not. But for what they were able to do, man, I love those guys. I'm thankful for them.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, Darren Waller. Raise your hands for questions. There we go.
Hey, Darren, Jerry McDonald. How would you sum up what seems to be every week being stranger than the last one in terms of being ready to play a football game and having your whole offensive line out until today?
You can't script stuff like that. It's really weird. It's hard to prepare how you want to, practice how you want to. But at the end of the day, you got to deal with the situation at hand. And I feel like guys did the best that we could. We put in extra time once the linemen were cleared this morning, and with extra walkthroughs and things of that nature. And they were doing the best they could to prepare during the week. So I'm pleased with everything that they brought to the table today.
Hey, Derek, how much of a gut check was this for the team, given everything that happened this week, and then how the game, you guys got closer towards the end in the fourth quarter, and then the score just kind of got out of hand? How much of a gut check was it today?
I think that's just the way the game goes, honestly. It's just the ebbs and flows of a season. You have games where it's like the Chiefs, and it can be an emotional high, and then you have days like this where you're in it for a while, and then things just don't go your way, and it's just it helps you. It helps with perspective, honestly. I feel like days like this, it keeps you from getting too high when you win and too low when days like this happen. So I feel like guys are going to come in next week with a good attitude, and just keep playing football and go out there and play with confidence.
Hey, Darren, obviously you're not an offensive lineman, but you're still often involved in blocking in the run game. You guys struggle a little bit in that area today. I know you have to review tape, but which areas do you think can improve just overall when it comes to whether it's blocking or just the run game in general?
I mean, yeah, once we look at the tape, I'm sure there are a lot of areas we could improve. I know starting with me on the backside, I could do a lot better on the backside of runs with cutting that off. And I'm sure everyone can look at the tape and see little fundamentals and things like that we need to get better at. It's never usually as good as or as bad as you think it is. So once we look at that, I feel like we can get back to, pounding it like we usually do and run like we're capable of.
Is that it? All right, great. Thank you, Darren.
Yes, sir.